can't do this by ourselves. God wants us to work in communion. He wants us to pray for one another. He wants us to love one another. You know, it's very amazing the way Paul was praying for these people. Paul, you know, kept them in their mind, loved them a lot, but they were also praying for him as well. And as we look toward things that Pastor Rick talked about, especially about vision, it can be scary when we look at how small we are. And when we look up, you know, when Pastor Rick talked about the money we need, when he talked about, you know, the vision he has, we want to look to how big God is. We want to be able to look to how big God is, because if we can see how big He is, there's nothing that is impossible.
Man.
And He wants to do miracles. He's a way maker, like we sang today. He doesn't want to be limited in songs, you know. And so many times we can be theoretical than practical. And so when the Word of God is presented to us, God will begin this good work. He wants to really present Himself, not just in word, but also in action. And when you think about the rabbi, the Pharisees, and all these people, they had the word in theory, they had the logos, and the Rhema was in front of them, but they never realized it because they didn't tap into more than the word. And so as we go through this week, the blessing that actually I'm praying for you guys is to see the word come alive. In whatever situation that is presented, do not let God be limited in your readings in the morning. Do not let Him be limited in your devotions. Do not let Him do that. He wants us to lament. Sometime, if you went to Kaleo, that was the word that we had at APU this week. And so many times we can feel like lamenting is bad, but even Jesus cried on that cross, my God, why have you forsaken me? David lamented. And lamentation, most of the time, we think it's a bad thing, it's a lack of faith, but it's just in you asking God, where are you? Show me. And so in whatever situation that you face this week, I want God to really be present. I want Him to work physically that you cannot, that even if somebody would point a gun in front of your face, because of how He's working in your life, you will be able to stand up and say, I believe in Him because I know Him, because I see Him working. Whether it's financially, do not limit Him. Do not limit Him. And I always give this example. If I would go with Christina Casali in Walmart, I don't use you most of the time, but if I would go with her in Walmart and she asked me, Marcel, what do you want? I would think about how limited her pockets can be because she's a student. And maybe I would be like, can I just get water? Because maybe I can limit her to water, to purchasing me water. But if I would go with Bill Gates and he asked me, what do you want? I would just call somebody who has a huge truck, because I'll be able, I know it's Bill Gates. I can even take the whole Walmart with me and he's able to check it out. But how do you limit God? How do you limit Him? Do you take Him as Christina Casali or as Bill Gates? But we know He's bigger than Bill Gates, right? We know He's bigger than bigger. So I'm going to go ahead and pray, but as we close our eyes, I want you guys to expect more from God this week.